My name is Dr. Gary Levy. I'm the director of the Multi Organ Transplant Program here at the University Health Network. Today you're going to be seeing and hearing from Canada's true heroes. These are individuals who have been live donors who have donated pieces of their livers or kidneys to save the lives of loved ones, and in some instances, perfect strangers. These individuals are quite remarkable, and I think you're going to find their stories really inspiring.
I had never even realized that you could, first of all, donate a liver, and the fact that the liver grows back quite rapidly. But we started the process working through the University Health Network, went through all the screening process. For an adult, they need to take up to 70% of the liver. They determined that I wouldn't be able to donate that much, but I would be suitable for a child, so I agreed to remain on the donor list and waited for a child, which I mean the good news is I was waiting for about 5 months for a child that was looking for a liver donation. I'm an anonymous donor. I know very few details about who the recipient is. I just know it's a young teenager, and I have no details as to what the outcome has been, but from my standpoint, the surgery went extremely well. I've been a healthy person all my life. I've never had to go through this kind of situation before, and it's all gone very well. The recovery was remarkable, but I think in part it's not only was I in good health going into the surgery, which certainly helps in recovery, but it was the medical skill and the care that I got at the University Health Network that certainly made that donation possible and recovery effortless.
I had two and I only needed one. And I see it as a logical extension of blood donation. I'm a person of privilege. I have good health. I have children who are independent. I needed to do something significant to be helpful, and I'm pretty lazy. I'm not prepared to go work in the food bank every weekend. I'm not prepared to make that kind of a commitment. But I can show up, I can endure some pain, not an extreme amount, and make that kind of commitment for several weeks and get it over with, learn a lot, be treated well, and feel good about myself and know that it was a significant gesture.
Our son had been on dialysis for quite a while, but beyond that, he and his wife had been unable to conceive, and they'd been married for 5 years and no children, and as a prospective grandparent, I wanted some grandkids, and they were told that Andrew's sperm was being affected by his kidney and not able to produce enough sperm. So they said that if a donation took place, a transplant took place, that within 8 months his sperm would be built back up. And the greatest day of my life, I think, was 8 months later, knock on the door, and my son and his wife walked in with grins this big saying, "Guess what? We're pregnant." So I take a lot of credit for that. My daughter-in-law doesn't think I should, but nevertheless. So we have 3 wonderful grandkids as a direct result of a kidney donation. If we can spread the word through ads or newspapers, television, media, whatever, it just opens up an entire new world to people. And I think a lot of misconception is that there's only a kidney or maybe a lung transplant, whereas there are, I would say, 8, 9, 10 organs in the body that can be used for transplants. And I think that message needs to get out so public. I look at it that if an accident, a tragic accident happens, that's very unfortunate. But if adults can talk to their children, if there's a car accident, a hockey injury, a sports injury, I think families need to talk about that and just say that, in the event of, yes, I would love to donate to make changes for a number of people and real good, positive lifestyle changes for those people.
Brianne Teefy, and I donated my liver.
Rick Tomlinson, and I received my niece's liver.
Just when he said that he was sick and that the wait list was too long and for a deceased donor and that they needed to go to live donor, and just signed me up and they started doing the tests, and that was it.
They had about 6 months before I wouldn't have been here, I guess.
And to know that I, have years to spend with him, I just do it. Like if you can, I think to me, people come up and say you're a hero or whatever, and to me, just I feel blessed to have been given the opportunity to do something.
Just how much I love her, and I get emotional now every time we're together, so that that's kind of funny.
I chose to donate 65% of my liver to my younger brother. We had the surgery last March the 7th, 2011. He was on the waiting list, and now I found out after the fact that he only had a month to live. So it's very critical that I donated. Yeah. I would love for everyone to know that the process at Toronto General Hospital for living liver donation was very great. It's the most amazing experience I've ever had, and I would do it all over again in a heartbeat. And it took only about 8 weeks to sort of go through the whole screening process, and my recovery was phenomenal. I was back to work after 11 weeks post-surgery. So it was a very positive and fulfilling experience, and it's something that will be important to me for the rest of my life, actually.
It's a very emotional thing. The one thing I'll say is that my whole family participated in getting tested to be a donor. And at the end, my dad just stepped up and said, I'm going to take care of this, and I'm going to take care of you. And there's nothing I can say to thank him. I call him every anniversary of my surgery to try and thank him. But that's the most difficult thing that you can do. I'm just really happy that before I needed my transplant, I was an organ donor, and I had indicated that in my health card and my driver's license. And I just really want people out there to think about how they can help not just their loved ones, because I think that's easy, but help society, because if we're able to do donations, we're able to cut down medical costs, we're able to improve the quality of life for so many people. And in the end, we're going to build a better society.
My name's Veronica Lawton, and I am the donor of a kidney to my husband.
My name's Dave Lawton, and I'm the recipient of my wife's kidney.
My husband had a living-related transplant almost 15 years from his brother, and he lost it after 15 years due to lupus. And we were on home hemo for 3 years. And I started a new job, and I just wanted to offer to donate a kidney, never thinking in a million years I would be a match. And I was a match. So I was surprised and happy to give it to my husband. And the reason that, because I love him. I'm a nurse. I tell my patients, and 2 of my patients where they had family members donate kidneys to them. So one at UHN, the other at St. Joe's in Hamilton. So I'm a strong advocate. There's very little side effects to the donor. It's harder on the recipient. I don't have to take any medication, where he has to take life-saving medication for the rest of his life. So I'm just happy to do it and tell people that it's the best thing.
My name is Tiana Dare Samuel, and I am a recipient from a liver transplant.
Hi, my name is Linton Samuel, and I'm a donor for liver transplant. My daughter was born with a condition called biliary atresia, where the bile ducts don't develop, and she was slowly being poisoned. So when the doctors told me about this new surgery that's called living related donor transplant, I think I must have took about 30 seconds and thought about it and decided, if we were a match, to go right in there and do it without hesitation. At that time, I think the wait was 2 years, back in 1996. And I wasn't willing to wait that long or take a chance that she might get sick and possibly pass.
If I didn't receive it, and I probably wouldn't be here right now. That's all I can say. I just want to say that no matter what I think and no matter what happens, even though you drive me crazy so much, I will always be thankful for what you did for me, and I love you.
I love you too, baby. I love you.
There are some people who just really need this, like their lives are depending on this, so just come forward and, you're doing something good here, so just come forward.
I'm Greg Hopkins, and I donated 40% of my liver. So to me, it was really neat that you could actually give 40% of it and know to be fully functional again within about 6 weeks. I donated anonymously, but it's funny because my wife regards this as my midlife crisis. She said, most guys that get my age, they go and get a younger wife, they buy a sports car, and all the usual accoutrements. And she said, in my case, I decided to donate part of my liver. That's kind of her story, and she's sticking with it. But it worked out very well. I was very appreciative of the hospital. I felt I was very well taken care of. And what was amazing was I didn't miss any time from work, and I was able to go to Haiti 3 months later and do hard physical labor without any issues at all. So worked out very well for me.
My name is Sarah Beaudry. I'm a donor. I donated to my mother in 2010, and I donated a kidney. For me, it was a very easy decision to donate to my mom. She was just diagnosed with kidney disease, and we were told she had 5 days to live. And from that point on, I did everything possible to learn about what kidney disease meant and what dialysis meant. And when she was well enough to go through the testing, she wanted a new kidney. That was her first words. She had been on dialysis for 2.5 years. The Christmas before we had her surgery in May of 2010, she pretty much had said that she wanted to die because she was tired of dialysis. And it was taking a toll on her, so the urgency was there. There were thousands of people who are on the waiting list to either have a kidney or, a liver or an organ. And most of those people die waiting. And a lot of the people that do live with liver disease or kidney disease, they suffer, and it's a hard life for them. And so the process is really not that difficult. It's lengthy, but it's not that difficult, and it is doable. And the rewarding feeling that you have to be able to help someone have a better life in the end is ultimately the most rewarding thing that I think anybody can have. And I live with that every day, and I think that's where I feel good about the decision that I made. And I've had numerous people ask that question, weren't you afraid? Aren't you afraid of living with one kidney? And absolutely not. It's the furthest thing that I think of, because I think of the person who I donate to first and how I've changed their life ultimately.
Hi, my name is Shamim Kassam. I'm a donor, and I donated kidney to my husband, Shiraz Kassam.
Hi, my name is Shiraz Kassam. I'm from Brampton, and I'm the recipient of a kidney donated by my wife, Shamim Kassam.
His condition was really deteriorating so fast that it was amazing. In a year's time, he was really going down. The only other option he had was, according to Dr. Mehta, was that he had to go on dialysis, and there was a waiting period for dialysis. And every month when we were going for checkup, he was losing 5 pounds, and it didn't really look very good. It got to such a scary experience that I know I myself I'm very weak. I'm not a strong person. I'm always afraid of needle. But looking at the condition, I said, I will go for it. And I really remember when I was having my test done, it was so painful and I was crying. And the staffs were asking me, are you sure you're going to go through that? I said, yes, I am. So, it was donating my kidney or it was no life, because they did ask me and I said I could live without a kidney, but I could not live without my husband.
Hi, I'm Mark McLaren. I gave a kidney to my brother. He had been quite ill. It all came so quickly. He's just started putting on weight, water retention. It was 100 pounds within a short period of time. He was hospitalized. Doctors didn't know what it was. They checked everything. It went for months. Sooner or later, he got out of the hospital. He was on dialysis. It's a terrible thing. And after a few years, we were faced with a situation where a transplant was inevitable, and we needed to make it happen if he was going to live. When I received the phone call from the hospital saying, "You're on, you're it," it was an incredible feeling. You were rushed with exultation of you're going to be able to do it, fear about it's coming up, but relief and joy for my brother, and we got to share it on the phone a moment later, both in tears. It was one of the greatest days of my life.
My name is Chris Mueller, and 2.5 years ago I received a liver transplantation from this woman.
My name is Sherry Edmonds, and I was Christopher's donor.
And I'm Sally Mueller, and I'm Chris's wife.
I donated my liver to Chris Mueller. At the time, I did not know who he was. I had never met him before, but heard his story and felt like I wanted to do it.
I had primary sclerosing cholangitis, degenerative liver disease. I'd had it for over 10 years, and I was in the process of dying, basically. We had actually gone through 11 potential donors and failed, and then Sherry came along. So if not for her, that would have, the search would have ended quite soon, I'm sure.
I would like to say that you can't imagine how much of a change you can make and how many people you can touch. You know, we had a lot of friends and family members who came forward trying to be donors, and none of them were a match. And so all of those people were hoping for us to find someone. And Sherry didn't even know us at all. She just came forward with the willingness to help.
And we spend a lot of time crying these days.
We have it literally within us, the power to make such a huge difference. And you know, I was blessed to be given the opportunity to do so, and it's really something that I think everyone should at least consider. It may not be the right decision for everybody, but at least sit back, ask those questions, and find out more information.
I want to thank you all for listening to these wonderful stories of courage today. I want to acknowledge Canada's true heroes, individuals who stepped into the line of fire, put their personal lives at risk to save the lives of loved ones, friends, and at times perfect strangers. I also want to acknowledge the energy and passion of the transplant program and its members here at the University Health Network. We certainly could not accomplish what we have done here without their energy. I hope you're all inspired by these stories and you will consider organ donation as a way of helping fellow citizens of this wonderful province and country. Thank you again for listening.